So here's a little short for you. On the Bambu A1 Mini, the first thing I found you really should do if you have this printer, that's get another backup tip. Because with this printer, if it runs out of filament, it doesn't know until it's right down to a little wee nub at the end of the tip. And if you're in the middle of a project and you've run out and you don't have a spare tip, scrap that project. Just like this one. You can see it never got finished. And it was turning out great. Now you can see here, you can see the lines there. Well, basically what happened is that it ran out, and when it runs out, not like the Perusa where it runs out and it beeps at you, and then you go and you load up another wheel and you hit unload and it takes out a little piece about that long. You pull it out, you put the other one in, it feeds it in, it asks you, did it come out, is it the right color, whatever, you say yes, and it continues the print. Works great. This one, on the other hand, right now I'm printing this and I'm keeping an eye on it because I have that much left on the wheel there, right? And I'm at 82%, so I think I'm gonna make it. But what'll happen is it'll go down the tube, right, and in, and it'll get all the way down to the hot end, right down to the very bottom, right at the nib of the hot end, and then it'll go, oh, out of filament. Well, what happens is that now, however way it normally lines up inside, it can't. So you feed in the next one, it goes all the way down the tube, and it goes down, and it hits the end of the hot end, and it just goes click, 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 and it can't feed it in. And it thinks that it's fed it because it's still moving. So then it goes back and it starts to print in midair. And as soon as it starts to do that, well, your project is screwed. Right? Unless you know exactly where to slice it, and you can finish the rest on another one and glue it on top maybe or something, but otherwise it's done. But if you have a spare tip, then you can at least remove that one, put the other one in, right, then load your filament, and it'll continue because it'll pass through no problem because there's nothing in the tip. And then what you need to use this little thing, right, and one of these guys, and you heat up the tip. Of course, use a pair of pliers or something, hold the tip, get it hot, and then this here thing that came with it fits into the end of the tip, not the part that the stuff comes out, but the other end where it goes in, fits in there perfectly, and you can push like I did here and squish all the stuff out and clear it. And then I even used a cleaner thing just to kind of make sure that there was nothing left inside the tip. And then once that was done, then it would finally feed in, and and everything was fine. But at that point my project's already been messed up. So like I said, if you have two, then you have a backup for in case you run out. You could just take the one hot end out first, put the other one in, put your new wheel in, it'll feed, and then it'll actually continue your project, right? And then while that's happening, you can clean out the other one, get it all ready to go again, and then keep that aside in case you run out again. But that's my advice to you. If you have an A1 Mini, don't let it run out, or if you do, have an extra tip, because you will hate it if you had a really nice project on the go and now it's printed in midair for a minute or two or whatever, and it's done. So there's the first thing I don't like about this printer so much. Otherwise, it's been pretty good in every other way. Like it had a few failures, and again, I haven't really messed around with the settings much. But that's the first thing that I've noticed that I wasn't too keen on. that's a one-up on the Perusa. Perusa, there is no issue like that. It just spits out the old one, you put the new one in, bam, continues, that's it. No messing around. You gotta go get spare parts to make sure that you can continue your prints on this. Yeah. Okay, not too bad, but it is a pain in the butt when you have to go through all the processes of, you know, grabbing some pliers and this little thing and a heat gun and clear out the old tip while the new one's in there. There's my daughter. Look at her. What's going on? Anyway, till next time. That's all I got.